Hi, my name is Mina Işlalçık and I'm a first-year chemistry student at Bilkent University. Today I will show you my lab experiment for Physics 101 lab project. The aim of this experiment is to show how period of a spring mass system changes depending on the attached mass and spring constant. To examine this relationship, we will measure period for different masses and spring constants. A mass spring system oscillates with a period t, which is the time for one full cycle. For an ideal spring, the period depends on the attached mass and the spring constant. The equipments I will be using in this experiment are two different springs, a stopwatch, two objects with different masses. At first, I attached a 50-gram mass to the first spring and pulled the mass slightly downward. After releasing it, I used a stopwatch to measure period. I repeated this measurement 5 times and calculated the average to reduce error. Next, I replaced the 50-gram mass with a 100-gram mass and repeated the same steps. After completing the measurements for the first spring, I repeated the entire process with the second spring, using the 50-gram mass first and then the 100-gram mass. For each mass, I measured the period 5 times and calculated the average period to reduce random error. After collecting all period measurements, I calculated the average period for each mass and spring. Then I squared the average period to obtain t squared. I took p as 3.14. Then I calculated the spring constant for each case. Finally, I found K1 for the first spring and K2 for the second spring and compared the results to determine which spring was stiffer. In conclusion, I measured the period of a mass spring system using two different masses and two different springs. I observed that the period became longer when I used the heavier mass, and it also changed depending on the spring. A stiffer spring gave a shorter period. Then I calculated t squared and found the spring constants. Overall, my results matched the expected relationship.